Are we ready, Michelle? Do we have both Michelles? Okay, perfect. I'll wait for them to come. So it's a good thing we have two Michelles. So first, another round of applause, kind of a shout out for Michelle Perkzener. She's our event planner and has been working unbelievably hard for many, 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 many months. And when I came in 8 weeks ago, she's like, oh, I'm very busy. So anyway, Michelle and Michelle Francis are going to talk to you about our Lifting the Limits programs that we've done and our fundraisers. And we're really lucky to have both of them. So thank you.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me okay? I'm Michelle Francis, and I'm here with my husband, Bodie, and our 3 children from, we're just outside of Denver, Colorado. And 2 of our 3 kiddos have PKU. We have 10-and-a-half-year-old twin daughters, one of whom has it, and then our 7-year-old son. And we hosted a Lifting the Limits for PKU event in the Mile High City back in 2018. And we're just curious, how many of you have heard of the Lifting the Limits fundraisers? Just a quick show of hands. Okay. And is there anybody that isn't familiar with those? Okay, maybe just a handful. Well, good. Well, we're going to tell you all about them. And the reason I'm presenting up here with Michelle is because since 2014, when the National Pku Alliance had its first official Lifting the Limits, Michelle has been the key contact to local families who are hosting these events. And without her, these would not be possible. So.
Hi, everybody. I'm Michelle Pernsteiner, and like she said, I was hired in 2014. In addition to the Lifting the Limits events, I work with the conference, as you know. But we actually, let's go on to the next slide, sorry.
Yeah, we're going to try and figure out how to use the.
Is it this one? Sorry.
We're trying to. There we go.
Okay.
Oh, right where it says next slide.
So first of all, is Allison in the room by chance? I don't know if Allison's in the room. So how did we get started with Lifting the Limits? Well, Allison, PKU mom, Allison Reynolds, turned an idea into a reality for National Pku Alliance. She held 2 successful fundraising events in honor of her daughter, Tia. One was in San Francisco and the other in Washington, D.C. Then she thought, why can't other families across the nation do this event while providing them with the assistance and the template from a National Pku Alliance staff person? So she took it to the board of directors, and with that, let her and the NPKUA team create an event template for a nationally branded event called Lifting the Limits for PKU. Lifting the Limits has been a success. A total of 13 Lifting the Limits fundraising events have been hosted since inception. And I do have a little typo in here. In 2015, we started our very first event, 7 galas, 5 golf tournaments, and 1 unique event called Crossing Norway for a Cure. They've raised over $7 million for PKU research and programs that are very important. The National Pku Alliance has been able to double their amount of provided research funding. This year, or in 2021, we allocated $550,000 to key research projects. And the next presentation, you're going to hear firsthand what they're doing with those funds and how they're supporting us in PKU research. We've delivered our key messages to thousands of new families and community members across the US. We've generated incredible PKU awareness through creative social media and media outreach tactics. Awareness is another huge part of these events and key to PKU because a rare disease no one knows about yet.
So as a PKU family, I'm sure that many, if not all of you, have turned to the National PKU Alliance for information or support. But obviously, the very important work that the organization does requires funding. So as PKU families, how can we help? So one of the big ways we can help is hosting Lifting the Limits events. And there's Allison. Allison just came in. I'm actually excited. I'm looking at this table because there are 3 PKU moms that have hosted Lifting the Limits events, maybe some future ones. 4. Oh, you too. Yeah, we might be looking at you soon, Salt Lake City. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about what it takes to host an event. So, one of the best things that you can think about if it's something you might be interested in is who can you bring into the fold. So I did not do Denver alone. One of my still to this day very good friends, Emily Porter, another PKU mom, and I did it. I know some families have brought in their family members to help, other friends. But a couple of the really important roles to think about are strong co-chairs and working with someone in your network that has maybe a little experience with obtaining auction items for fundraisers. One of the things I remember being absolutely terrified about when I first signed up to do this was the sheer logistics of managing an event. But what's great about the PKU Alliance is they help hire a local event planner that takes care of all the details so that we can just focus on getting people there and raising the money. So Michelle's going to actually talk a little bit about the kind of support that you would get as a family from the National PKU Alliance.
Well, when you host an event, you're definitely not alone. You have the experience and guidance from, well, I guess my name's up there yet, me and other staff members, and of course, previous co-chairs. It's really important. They are really the building blocks of future events. And of course, administrative support, including such things as processing donations, registrations, paying the vendor bills. You don't have to pay money out of your pocket. It's our event and we're doing it with you. Sending out thank you cards, etc. We have a strong presence on social media. So all of those outlets are a part of that, and promotion to all of our connections. And then not only do you have support behind the scenes and leading up to the event, but we will come to the event each time. When families are interested in hosting an event, there is a little bit of a process. So we start the conversations about what the expectations are, talking about our template that we've developed, about the expectations and goals. And then at one, if it's decided that, yes, we should move forward with this, then it's talking about, let's build committees. Committees are so important. And she kind of already mentioned that. So the co-chairs will be looking at talking with their network, their family, their friends, anyone who can help support them. Because again, those key committees are crucial to build that network in order to make a successful event, from a sponsorship standpoint to auction items to, I'm going to say, putting butts in the seats, as one Lifting the Limits chair called it. I really, that is so critical. Then building up to the event. Once you're at the event, then there's such things as a motivational mission moment type video. We have a researcher that comes along and talks about what people are supporting, and then really gets that inspiration in the room at that time. We do encourage people who are interested to try to attend an event to see what it's all about. And of course, to talk to previous co-chairs. It's very important because it is a big commitment to hold these events, and we can't do it without families and their networks. Financial goals are very important, obviously. What we do is we talk about the fundraising goal based on your market and your network. The sponsorship goal should cover all event costs, because then all of the auction items that are sold that night, live, silent, whatever, raffles, a fund a need paddle raise, cash donations, all leads to profits. So get the expenses covered leading up to the event. The night of brings in most of the funding. But establishing the specific goals up front will certainly keep you motivated. But don't let the numbers scare you, because if you have strong connections and you work hard and have a great committee, you can do it. It's a great feeling. And if you talk to any of the event co-chairs from the past, they've had fears in the past about that. And it's made a difference to know that you have the support of all of us and other people. So we've been all across the nation and even across the ocean. We held 7 galas from Nashville, Boston, Seattle, Buffalo, Denver, New York City, Philly. Then we started our golf outing with Jerry Elkins and family in 2016 in Virginia, which led to an annual event with the Creighton Farms Invitational, which is a partnership event with the Nicholas Children's Healthcare Foundation. And then we had a unique fundraiser with Allison Reynolds again in Norway in 2020, right before the world shut down. And now we're looking forward to hosting in San Francisco this fall, November 5th of 22. And then also we have a committee started for Atlanta in 2023. We would love to host a Lifting the Limits event in the South, like Dallas, Texas. So if anybody has any connections, we're looking for you.
So this is just a picture of Emily and I think it bears repeating that we're still really good friends. We didn't break up over doing an event together. Another PKU mom out of Denver that was a tremendous help to us. We couldn't have pulled it off without her is someone named Kathy Friedl. I'm sure some of you have met her. Her daughter, her PKU kid is now 17. Driving and stuff. She helped us with our auction. She had done previous fundraising events and had auction experience. So we were a really great team together. And I think one of the important things to do is why the heck did we decide to do this? And for me, when my husband and I got the news in 2012 that one of our twins, by the way, we're already overwhelmed because we have twinfants, right? Had this random disease called PKU. One of the first resources we came across was the National Pku Alliance. And I remember thinking what a huge relief that was. So, to this day, I'm very passionate about the National Pku Alliance's mission to improve the lives of my children. It's very important to me, and I know to many of you, to get better treatment for our PKUers today, while we continue searching for a cure in our kids' lifetime. So even though it was hard at times making the asks and raising the money, what kept me motivated was my 2 beautiful PKUers. And like I said, Michelle and the staff at the National PKU Alliance helps tremendously. They have so much experience putting these events on. Made everything feel so much easier. Oh, sorry, we skipped a slide.
We're on this one.
Okay. So with their help, we ended up with more than 200 guests and 300 donors. So we got a lot of people that made donations that weren't able to make it. We raised more than $400,000 and actually netted $308,000. And so that kind of shows you the importance of the sponsorships, because we were able, I think our event costs were obviously right around 100 a, yeah, right around 100. Something that I was really proud of during the event is so many of my friends, family, and business colleagues came up to me afterwards and said, I had no idea that this is what PKU was all about. And thank you for inviting me here and teaching me about it. So all made it very, very worth it. And finally, it was a really fun night. I mean, it was like throwing a huge party. It was like a wedding. So everybody had a great time. We had a lot of fun, and we had the results to show it. So if you're interested in following in the footsteps of families like mine and others, we would love to chat with you. There are openings for an event, as Michelle mentioned earlier, in 2024 and beyond. So I know for me, I think we signed up to do an event and we had about a year and a half lead time. And so that really helps to wrap your mind around everything and get going. And as we mentioned, we'd love to bring it to the Southwest, maybe Texas. Salt Lake City wouldn't be a bad location. It's central. So other than that, if anybody has any questions or wants to know more information, I'll be around. Michelle's obviously here. And can I get the PKU mamas who've done events in the past to stand up? Because I'm sure they would be happy to talk to you. Yeah, and Jerry, I'm so sorry.
Jerry,
PKU parents.
Woo! Parents. Thank you. I look forward to talking to more people about this.
Yeah, thank you, Michelle. Michelle, really amazing, and thank you, all of you. Having done some fundraisers and galas